Hey guys, and welcome back to Mary J's Hauls and our Amazon merch Q4 challenge. So today is actually a fun one. I am not here with Ryan today. I decided since our last video I was going to take on the merch stuff 100% this week, completely by myself, from idea and conception to finalized product, without the help of Ryan, to see how well I could do and see if I could just dip my feet in the water and test out some of those things that we've been preaching, as I'm also the viewer with you guys and I'm learning along as we go through it. So I wanted to kind of get a feel for all those sticky parts that some of you guys may be experiencing. And next week we'll have Ryan come back in and look at what I did and kind of go over some of the things that could have been done a little bit differently or more efficiently. So guys, comment below if you would like to see Ryan review what I have done this week and give tips and tricks on how to improve upon my process. And make sure to leave that comment below. Also, like and subscribe, guys. So today we will get started with a sales update. So today's sales are 0. This week, or the last 7 days, we've had 4 sales, and the sales all still being the Karen Halloween costume and the boner donor. So those guys aren't selling in as high of a volume as they were previously, but there's still some of our best products that are selling, and we're not making as many sales as we were. We have maxed out our upload slot, and actually today I tried for like 2 hours to upload my 5th product that I was able to upload today, and it kept telling me you have 0 submissions left but 1 new entry for the day, and I kept being like go, and it wasn't working. And then I realized that it's because I have 100 live products. I still have 1 remaining submission today, so after this video I will probably go back through my inventory, find a design that's not selling, and switch it out. So the sales this week are the Karen and the boner donor, as per usual. This month we've only had 6 sales, and the previous month we had 25. So that's a big difference for us. And now we are hoping to get tiered up to 500. So we're crossing our fingers for the next tier up. But I wanted to talk to you guys about the realms that I decided to go into, and then how I found my designs and ideas, and then what happened with all those. So, you know, Ryan and I had tried doing some political niches a couple weeks ago, but actually none of those were selling. And he used some of those same designs on his web or on his merch, and it actually came through and he made a lot of sales. So it's really hit or miss if you're the one that gets picked to keep selling and keep selling and keep selling. Now the price points that I have, because Ryan is not here with me, and I'll whisper it because I don't want him to overhear, but since Ryan hasn't been here with me today, I started playing around with pricing a little bit. I know Ryan was saying no profit, but I was like, ha 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 ha, Ryan's not here. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like it's translated into anything. So we'll check that out as we get there. So the niches that I decided to kind of select were based on what I saw on the TV. So I turned on the news and I started seeing a lot of the federal decriminalization of marijuana, like I talked about in my last video. So I kind of stuck with that theme. And so when finding designs within that niche, I decided to use Ryan's search merch Amazon products. So I came to search merch, typed in marijuana, let's search the T's, and so we get, it's saying 305 results. Now, these aren't even marijuana, so I don't know what just happened, but we'll try it again. There we go, that's more like it. Now, so guys, I saw that this shirt, My Cough Is Not From Coronavirus, came up. And then when I was looking at the BSR, actually yesterday or earlier today, the BSR was 16,000, meaning best-selling rank. So it's 16,000 from the bestseller. So this had a really good BSR, and I was like, okay, well, I know to stay away from coronavirus stuff for the most part, but it was a good design. It looks like it's selling well, and they have a really good rating. So I was like, you know what? There's not too much competition. I might as well take the design and make it my own. So I did that, and I even used the same process that this Stoned Organic Weed CBD apparel used. So not using Corona in the title, not anything like that. So what ended up happening was that for some reason, I don't know how this person got their product on, but oops, mine, I took it and I changed it, also using All Sunsets graphic, link below, promo code below, guys, sign up. It makes it so much easier to do text-based designs for the most part. You just type in your text, pop in an image from them, and it usually turns out really well. So as you guys can see, I didn't mention coronavirus in it, but I did say virus, and I use the same words, I use the same descriptions, keywords, everything, but all of mine, as you can see, were rejected. So this also brings me to another thing that I've been doing. Due to the fact that I work, this isn't my main job. This is more of a side project and a hobby just to kind of see how it goes. For the sanity and my sanity and the sake of time, what I started doing, and this is great if you don't have enough time to create 5 new designs or however many your upload slots allow. So I was taking the same design and just putting it on different products to get my 5. So since I hit 100, I will probably go back through and start cleaning some of them out and changing them out. So as you guys can see, a lot of my designs, they're duplicated on here, and that was a function of lack of time. So I found that to be a great little trick that I've been doing to make it a little bit easier. Now, when I do the designs, if I'm sitting down at my computer and I start thinking of a niche that has good designs, I will sit there and I will crank out like 20 different designs. Now, my designs are not great. They're not as good as Ryan's. And we will talk about why next week with Ryan. So just to give you guys a rundown. So that was the first thing, that my designs, even with the same thing, were rejected. So once again, guys, stay away from virus, stay away from coronavirus. I don't know how that person got on with that shirt. Yes, their shirt looked better than mine, but I was just hoping, since they're the only person with that shirt, I could take, a little bit of their sales. So another thing that I've realized on my own while doing this was that Photoshop does not spell check. So coming up here, actually, I think I opened it up here. So guys, as you can see, it is in the marijuana realm, like I said I wanted to do, but on 4 products, I spelled quarantined wrong. So make sure if you're using Photopea or Photopea or Photoshop that you're double checking yourself, because it's not going to come up with that squiggly red line for spell check. So these are definitely some of the ones that have to come down and be redone. But that's just a little note to self: spell check yourself, and make sure you do it before you cancel out of the Photoshop file. Or save a version of the Photoshop file so it's an easy go back in and then re-edit, because that was another thing that I didn't do. I did not save the PSD file. I had just been using a template that Ryan and I had created with 2 placeholders for text. So one of the things that I experienced when going through this was I took Ryan's advice by trying to diversify around the black background of some of these shirts. Now, when I had tried, I was like, okay, I know what to do. When you go to do your listing, you just uncheck black and check the colors that you want. Now, even if black is unchecked, and this is what I've learned, because I was like, why is it not working? Why is it not working? The default's still black. So what I've realized, guys, is if you want your default image to not be black, then you can only select one color and you have to uncheck black. If you check 6 colors, even if none of them are black, the default image still goes to black. So again, if you want a specific color in the default to help you stand out more, so if you're doing a design where a lot of people have done a similar design and all of their defaults are in black, then maybe try and diversify by choosing a different color to stand out more. But that being said, it does decrease the amount of variability you have for someone purchasing that shirt, because they're only limited to one color. But it does help you stand out more. So again, remember, if you want to do a different default, you can only choose one color and the black has to be unchecked. You can't choose red, orange, green, and blue and uncheck black and think that the default color is going to go to one of them, because it will still go to black. And that was something that I had experienced along the way. So another thing that I had noticed, guys, in addition to the marijuana realm, I was like, Christmas is coming. We got to get some Christmas uploads in here. But I started uploading them late last week. And with Prime and stuff, I'm always like, oh, it takes 2 days. I'll get there. What I realized is if you are uploading Christmas designs, they are saying these shirts will arrive after Christmas. So it's kind of like if you're doing the Christmas niche, it needs to start in like October, because once it gets to mid-December, it looks like you won't get it in time. So there's no point of even doing them past December 15th. Or prior to that, I did these last week, which I'm sorry, but I love my design. And if you guys love it, make sure you know where to find it. But yeah, just making sure to keep that in mind. Also, apparently what I've learned is in this case, in this design, I think the stroke on the lettering looks good, but stroke is dependent, I think, on the font that you use. So if you use a more distressed font and you do a stroke, meaning the outline around the words, it tends to fill in the distress, which doesn't print as well on shirts. So keeping that in mind, guys. Now, one of the final things that I wanted to show you was how I have decided, oh, and I targeted a couple of evergreens with a succulent pun. You know, I just thought of it randomly, and I was running out of upload slots, and I was like, you know what, let's just get it in there. So we did our uploads for the day, and I can delete one of my old designs and go back and change it with a new one because I still have one submission left. But as you guys can see, so I started doing my uploads from here. So Ryan told us to stick with the 1307 on the standard shirts because it would help get more traction. You know, people are more inclined to buy the cheaper product if there's two matching items. And now on these, there's not really matching items. There's no same ones. But because Ryan wasn't here, like I said, I started playing around with pricing to see if it could take. But as you guys did see, nothing has taken, including the ones that I did at 1307. So as you guys can go through, there is very diversified pricing. Now, pricing for pullover hoodies, sweatshirts, and long sleeve tees are more expensive generally. So it may look like I'm upcharging a lot from 1307, but if you tried to plug in 1307 as the price for some of these items, you would get negative royalties, which you cannot do. So just, you know, and other people have asked me in the comments, like, I've made this many sales, can I up like the price now? And it's really debatable, and so it's really to each his own and what you feel comfortable with. Now, if you're seeing a big discrepancy between the amount of sales you were making at the lower price point between the higher price point, I personally would agree that maybe sticking with the lower price point for a little while until you get that next tier up would be ideal, but to each his own. And you know, like more often than not, when buyers buy something, it's not, especially with a t-shirt, it's not like super well thought out and like analyzed. If people like something and it's within their price range, they're pretty much gonna buy it. So just keep that in mind, guys, too. Now I'm trying to think of if there was anything else. So yes, I've been targeting the marijuana niche, and then I will probably start to try doing some totes and pillows just to see if any of those gain traction, because I'm sure that the amount of people looking for them is less, but also the amount of people uploading to those products, I'm crossing my fingers, is less. Now, Ryan has yet to come out with a search merch for the totes and the pillows, which I'm on him about it already because I think it could be very useful just to see how much competition is out there and to see if there's any way to inch your way into that market. So guys, I definitely appreciate you watching. Tonight, actually, Ryan and I will be releasing one of our first Christmas healthy cocktails, so stay tuned if you guys want to see that. Make sure to like this video, subscribe, and click the notifications button, and leave a comment below if you would like to see Ryan go over and analyze, whether it's my keywords or the descriptions I put in, my designs, my process, everything, if he can look at my process and see if we can improve upon it. So make sure to comment below. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and thank you for watching Mary J's Hauls.